In August 1945, the world stood still. The war was ending, but not everyone knew how. Amid the silence of surrender, one Japanese aircraft took to the skies, carrying a secret that would change the course of history. When American pilots first saw the captured Mitsubishi G4M Betty bomber, they expected a war machine, but what they found inside was strange. Instead of armor and guns, there were seats, tea trays, and silk curtains. It wasn't a bomber, it was a flying parlor. Designed in 1939, the G4M was Japan's main long-range bomber. Light, fast, but dangerously fragile, pilots nicknamed it the Flying Lighter. It had no armor, no self-sealing fuel tanks, and a single bullet could set it ablaze. But the Japanese believed in speed and sacrifice, not survival. In August 1945, days after Japan's surrender, one Betty landed on the island of Ieshima. It carried Japan's peace delegation, men chosen to end the bloodiest war in human history. The Americans were stunned. The aircraft that had once dropped bombs now carried peace. When U.S. technicians examined the plane, they couldn't believe what they saw. Everything was stripped. No armor, no defenses, and a passenger cabin instead of bomb bays. It made no sense. How could this fragile, almost ceremonial plane survive enemy fire or even reach its destination? What the Americans didn't know was that this Betty was specially modified. It was built for a single mission, to carry Japan's surrender message safely. The seats were meant for diplomats, not soldiers. Every piece of metal removed to save weight and fuel. Even the paint was lighter. On August 19, 1945, two Betty bombers took off from Tokyo, their tails painted white, symbolizing peace. But American anti-aircraft gunners didn't know that. For a moment, the world stood on a knife's edge. One mistake, and Japan's surrender could have been destroyed in the sky. The gunners held their fire, and the planes landed safely on Ieshima. From those aircraft stepped the first Japanese officials to meet the Allies. They carried documents signed by Emperor Hirohito himself. It was the first time enemies who fought for years faced each other not with hatred, but exhaustion and relief. They bowed. The Americans saluted, and history changed forever. After the war, the Betty was dismantled, but the mystery remained. Why would Japan risk such fragile planes for their final mission? Some said it was a message. Even in defeat, Japan wanted to end the war with dignity, not destruction. The Betty that once carried death carried peace instead. And today her story reminds us. Sometimes, the most fragile things carry the greatest strength, dedicated to those who chose peace over pride.